that anything that is considered art or jewelry or gems, right, is supposed to be full value according to Pathfinder's rules, right?
Yes.
So, and I suggested, right, that anything gems, that would fall into that category is supposed to be full value. Probably the easiest way to deal with that would literally just be to double the number that are on that list. So
Correct.
Do you want to go through that real fast, or?
Yeah, we can since we're there.
So technically, apparently, to be the diagrams of the human form, the spirit bottle, brain container. I mean, honestly, it's probably not the crowbar. The crowbar's not special. Deed's not special. Just about everything else that's not equipment, like hybridization funnel's not, right? That's an actual item you use.
That would be like including the the glass leech bowl depicting frolicking vampires.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's just there's artwork, right? So that's all it's good for. Basically, anything that's not an actual usable item and is there as like a collector thing would be worth its full value. Just like a paint, because it's painting, jewelry, or gems, basically, right?
Yep.
It's art. And since it's stuff that we're not actually planning on using, right, then you can safely just, make it 2 instead of 1 in the party sheet, because we have no use for it otherwise.
Hell, that's a easier way of doing it.
Is there what, sorry?
That's an easier way of doing it.
Than trying to go through it and, like, edit the price on everything, or then, like, split the selling, some for 100, some for 50, yeah. I haven't brought this up before because usually we've been dealing with actual items before,
Absolutely. I love learning new stuff anyway.
And this is also explicitly laid out, and I don't remember, I think it might have been Ultimate Equipment, where they specifically laid all this stuff out and explicitly have those lines that I mentioned. And this was made after Ultimate Equipment, right? It came from, after Ultimate Intrigue even. So it's not an older adventure path where they weren't assuming that. And I think, honestly, the only reason it's even partially a problem here is that we're using this with Fantasy Grounds, right? They didn't write this with Fantasy Grounds in mind. So, in their version, they could say, you found these items, that are worth a total of this much. Add that much to your party sheet. There's no, like, selling it or anything. You see what I mean?
Yep, I do. So we will, I think I got them on before we go to sell them.
Books and collectibles. Portrait of Mun. Yuslav map.
Yeah, some of them I had already went in and changed the price on.
Ah, I gotcha. I have no, if you're sure you've changed all the price or double them, I have no way of telling the difference, so I'll trust you.
Let's see, need to double the wine. Okay.
Are you interested in trying to use the hybridization funnel, Sith? Do you even have craft alchemy?
The what funnel?
Hybridization funnel? Do you even have craft alchemy? Okay.
I think that, isn't there there's like a specific, what are those things alchemists get? They call them, not a feat, but a discovery. I think there's a specific discovery involved in combining, oh, this is splash weapons, though.
Yeah, so this is basically saying, like the acid flasks and the alchemist fire we found, with this you could combine them and they get hit by both with a single threat, with like doubles the output. But it requires a
Right.
DC 25 craft alchemy check. So if you don't have points in craft alchemy, you're
Yeah,
not gonna do well.
that might be-
We found alchemist equipment for you, Sith. You just can't use it.
I do have 4 ranks. I'm plus 15 in craft alchemy. So
You are?
I would need to roll a
Well, you
10
should be able to take 10,
to successful.
right? You can take 10 on crafting checks, and right, Wintermute?
Yep.
So, I mean, look, caveat: if you decide in the middle of a fight you're going to try to take 10, we will punch you, especially since it takes 10 minutes to do in the first place. So, you're like, guys, finish the rest of this combat for me. I need 9.5 more minutes.
Right. Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, I would never take like 20 or something, but. Yeah, I don't necessarily. I mean, I can take it because
I would grab it, because that way we can combine like the alchemist flasks and alchemist fires. And I mean, I think one of the things we're doing right now is we're also trying to clear stuff out of here that we're going to use. That way Wintermute can actually sell it when it's appropriate, right? Any objections to this idea?
Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Alright, so can we take the rest of the acid flasks or alchemist fires out? Can one of you two hold them? Do you have the ability to hold them?
I've got 14 of each now.
Right, but again, we can combine them with that thing in case we need them to deal with things like swarms in the future.
Right. No, I get that, but.
I mean, why would we
don't
sell
they
them?
weigh like a pound each?
Okay, they weigh a pound each, sure.
Okay.
I mean, if you're running into the weight limits, that would be the answer to what I said, is that you're not able to carry more successfully. So in that case, can Poppy?
Well, do we have like a handy haversack or anything like that? Does anybody got something that would? Can we get one? Or a bag of holding or something?
I mean, we can get a handy haversack, sure, and that will be able to carry 80 of these flasks if we want. But for now,
I mean, I can put them on my party sheet. That's fine.
you or Poppy would be appreciated, because I can't carry them without. If I go to medium encumbrance, I lose a lot of benefits, and I think you do too, Seth, because you lose your, your dexterity is a max of 3 then, for example.
See, my encumbrance right now I don't think is correct because it says I have 14 acid flasks, but a weight of 1. That's 1 pound each, right?
Yeah.
So the weight should be 14.
The weight is per individual unit.
Right. So let me adjust the weight, and my encumbrance is about to get weird.
No, I'm saying if it says weight 1, that is correct, because it's going to take that 1 and multiply it by the number on the left-hand side.
Oh, okay. So it makes the adjustment automatically.
Yes. So what's your current weight? And what are your encumbrance
my
limits?
current encumbrance is 86.
That's how much you're carrying?
It says total encumbrance 86.
That's bad. What's your light encumbrance?
Well, no. So light encumbrance for me is 50. Medium is 100. Currently,
Okay.
I'm carrying 86.
That's a problem. We need to get you under 50. Or else you can't. If you're not under 50 pounds, your dexterity modifier has a max of 3.
Okay. So my hybridization funnel, there's 2. It's all a lot of little stuff. 2 for thieves' tools. A thunderstone is 1. 4 for tanglefoot bags.
This is basically why we need to be having the actual strength character, aka Poppy, or the caster who doesn't really care, aka Doleon, be carrying this shit. That's
okay.
That's one of the whole points of having a strength character who can carry this stuff around. So we should be fostered it off onto one of those two. Now, if you want to spend 2,000 gold to be able to carry a bunch more stuff, right? You can obviously do that.
Well, I don't have. Looking through the list, it's a lot of little stuff. It's 14 acid flasks, 14 alchemist fires, 12 alkali flasks. I mean, right there is 28, 40 pounds of stuff. So, like I said, I mean, and then I'm hearing that you want me to put more of this stuff on my party sheet, but
Well, if you, I didn't. That's why I was asking if you had any weight limits. If you don't have any, if you have weight problems, then we'll
I
give
have
it to
weight
Poppy
problems.
or somebody. Then let's
I
give
like-
it to Poppy to carry for now. And then once
I
we
like
get a handy haversack, we can use that.
I like comfort food, so yeah.
I like the fact the smallest character's gonna be carrying the most shit.
So should I transfer some of this stuff back to the party sheet?
Sure.
So, Wintermute, can you adjust the acid flasks to 28, the alchemist's fire to 22, and the alkali to
You'll need to drag at least one alkali back. What I'm trying to make sure we avoid here is I don't want a situation where Wintermute's like, okay, we're gonna sell the stuff, and hits the delete button basically, and then we lose all the flasks because they're sitting in the party inventory.
Right.
Okay, so we got 28 acid. Alkali should be what?
Alkali should be make it 10, and then alchemist's fire should be 22. So I don't know if Winter, do you do this? Do you create like a blank character, a GM character, and then drag stuff off the party sheet into there just to hold on to it, so you can sell without having to worry about it?
Yeah, we can do that really easy.
That's what they had me do in my Curse of the Crimson Throne game, and it works out really well because everything they want to keep, but they haven't assigned, I drag onto that. Then I can sell everything without having to worry about selling the crap they haven't given up yet or split up.
By the way, Wintermute, I have some wands right now. By default, Fantasy Grounds lists them at weight 0. Technically speaking, they could weigh up to 1 ounce each. If you're really concerned with me tracking that, I don't even know what to put because it says it weighs no more than an ounce, so some of them are going to be less. Which means it would take like more than 20 of them to add up to even 1 pound. Are we okay with me not bothering to track that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So we want to keep... Damn it.
So I'm down to 56 pounds.
Okay, for sure you want to keep the acid, the alchemist fire, and the alkali flask.
Yes. Remember Tanglefoot bags.
Wow, the hell.
Yeah, getting rid of those 2 Tanglefoot bags puts me at 48 pounds. So I'm just under light encumbrance.
And I think everything else on there we're fine with selling, because things like the Mysterium Notes and Leather Pamphlet and Deed to the Infirmary, right? Things we actually want to keep are already marked as like having no value. So that's actually another thing you could do, Wintermute. You could just mark the flasks as having no value for now if you want. And that way they won't get sold.
Yeah, that's definitely an easier way of doing it. Party sheet. Flask have no value. Okay. we've
Do you have
got
any
it.
idea why the alkali flasks says cost 0 and the other ones just don't have a cost anymore? There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Alright, so I believe last time we left off, we wound up fighting this stupid, ugly spawn of mothers.
Yeah.
Didn't you say we found these diamond or something as well? Didn't we find like 6 diamonds? Did we already distribute the 6 diamonds?
I don't think we distributed those, but I remember getting.
Yeah, I remember them as well. Where the hell did they go?
Maybe you added them. Is it possible he added them to the
I may have gave you
party
gold for them.
already? Just give her all gold? Okay, I think you might have just given the raw gold for them.
Let's see.
Okay, so we fought the stupid thing. We went down and we went down to the main floor, searching everything carefully as we went. We found that shit ton of other stuff, and then I believe we're basically on the main floor and planning on going down on the dumbwaiter to investigate the very bottom, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And the the elevator is a velvet and mahogany lined chamber containing a brass chain and pulley hoist. You can see mold spots running along the lower parts of the velvet wall covering.
Everything is so luxurious here.
Absolutely, and looking down into the lower surgery room, you can see that the wide space has a floor of dingy white tiles and a broad wooden table in its center. That would pretty much be all you can see from your view.
Okay, so we shout fire in the hole and push Poppy over the edge. Is that how this works?
Poppy in the hole. Ah! You bastards!
I'm sure Poppy weighs too much, especially with the new stuff for either of us to push, because I have 7 strength.
Now remember, Poppy did
live
push that
Poppy,
woman
though.
out the window.
Okay, so I guess we head down with the dumbwaiter down below, one at a time. I don't how if we assuming that we can operate it like that. If not, we'll grab rope and we can just lower ourselves down, I guess, if we need to.
Yeah, you know, let's say, all 3 of you can fit on the elevator. And does anyone have, knowledge engineering?
Do you really have to ask? So I don't actually get a natural 20 on that. This is already built in, but I do get a 26 total.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of hilarious.
As you're descending down and the elevator comes to a stop in the lower surgery, you notice that there are locks in place that prevent the elevator from descending further. But you are sure that this elevator goes down at least 1 more level.
Interesting.
And
Do these look like locks that could be taken apart by Sith?
I can try to. Might be this lock.
yes, you can. You would be able to do the lock really easy.
Okay. I want to check it for traps.
I think we all are looking at it, presumably, so...
Okay, none of you are finding any traps.
Well, I guess it's safe.
I don't think I actually rolled.
And no, Poppy, you're not finding any other traps. However, as you come down, just for sake of argument, we're going to assume that you're still on the elevator. And from your vantage point in the elevator, you can see that there's some stained glass windows in the chamber. The one that you can see really clear from the elevator depicts an angel with her hands inside the body of a patient. And you can see the shining light erupting from the wounds of the smiling victims. You see neat rows of alchemical gear lining the walls, and naturally you notice a large hole in the ceiling for the viewing area. And you see this...
I don't think I like needles.
Nobody likes needles.
That is pretty creepy looking.
You see this monstrosity sitting over directly across from the elevator.
Does it seem to be active? Is it reacting to our presence?
No, it hasn't yet. And in this corner down here of the room, you see this towering glass cylinder. And it contains some sort of sticky yellow mass of protoplasm.
Betcha it's a slime.
So,
okay.
do you want to
So
step
looking at
off
this
the...
thing, what do I know about this golem thing? The 36.
Well, you know, naturally, it's a large construct. It's a rickety construction of glass tubing, metal, and wood, and conveying the brain and two eyes afloat in this glass skull. And let's see, naturally, you know, it's alchemical.
Naturally.
And with your rolls, you know that being a construct, it's immune to non-lethal damage. It does have a damage reduction for adamantine or bludgeoning. And you think that
or bludgeoning or and bludgeoning? Those are very different things.
Or adamantine or bludgeoning. And you're pretty sure that...
like minor or major reduction?
I'm sorry?
Do I have a sense whether that's minor or major reduction?
Major. If you're counting minor as 5 and major as 10.
10 or more, basically, yes.
Yeah.
Specific DRs always throw me off. Does this mean that my Earthbreaker is going to be less than effective or more effective than everyone else?
It means you're the only one who gets to hit it for full damage because you have bludgeoning damage. If it was adamine and bludgeoning, then you'd need both an adamantine weapon and a bludgeoning weapon to bypass it.
Okay.
So the fact that it's ore is much better.
Good.
And you're pretty sure that it is immune to spells or spell-like abilities, that allows spell resistance or save for spells with the sonic descriptor.
Okay.
And
by the way, Sith, you should remove the displacement effect on yourself because it's been, several minutes presumably while we went back down and grabbed stuff, right?
Oh, right.
So before we throw everything we have at this alchemical golem, I have a quick question. For the alchemist fire and flasks of other splash weapons, the damage is just flat 1d6, or is it 1d6 plus something?
I mean, point blank shot and other stuff affected, but other than that, it's just 1d6.
Okay.
Oh, alchemical fire. I believe it does another d6 this following round, right?
If they catch on fire, sure. But that's not based upon your stat or level or anything, is the idea.
Right.
Okay, so what element is it vulnerable to? Because golems are always vulnerable to an element.
let's see. With your rolls, which are just ungodly, you do know that if you attack with a non-reach weapon, you're gonna take 1 point of acid, cold, electrical, or fire damage. If you happen to land a crit on the creature, you're gonna take 1d6 points of damage.
Well, that's good to know, but that wasn't really the question, was it?
No, I'm still trying to answer his last question. As far as what it's what would be an example of the weakness?
If I
So
throw
for example,
fire at it, am I going to do full damage, half damage, or double damage?
so for example, if you look at the Iron Golem, it says it's immune to spells and abilities, except electricity damage slows it with no saving throw because it's vulnerable to electricity damage. However, fire damage heals it, so it's vulnerable to electricity, but specially affected by fire.
Well, its immunity to magic.
That's
Shatter.
standard for golems.
Shatter will damage it as if it was a crystalline creature.
So it's not actually. So it's not immune. It's not immune or vulnerable to a particular element. Is what you're saying?
Yes, correct.
Interesting.
Considering attacking
Yeah.
it will cause damage of one of all four, that's not very surprising, actually.
Yeah, that's just unusual for golems. Is all I'm saying. That's
And-
I'm surprised.
Eric, with your engineering skill, you can tell that if you get hit by it, that you're gonna take extra damage.
Via the needles.
Honestly, it's saying 1d6 of acid, cold, electricity, or fire damage. It has a random effect. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you take 1d6 points of acid, cold, electricity, or fire damage, or you become sickened if you fail your fortitude save, or entangled if you fail your reflex save.
Alright, well, part of me wants to go back upstairs and pretend we never saw this thing. Some other part of me remembers feeling the same way about that tentacle monster in the bell tower, and that thing ended up being ridiculously easy. So,
Before you, we were one failed save away from having someone go permanently insane. And I'm pretty sure if we hadn't debuffed it to hell, if those tentacles probably had some really nasty effects that we managed to avoid, because I was George of doing it.
oh, that's true.
Like, I went overboard in that fight because I was so significantly worried about its tentacles, like, causing massive damage or drains or stuff.
Alright, well, who's carrying the deed to the place?
I'm sure that'll help on the golem.
It doesn't hurt to try. Might not hurt to try.
Sure, I will bravely put myself forward for the good of the party, and I will have the deed, and I'll exit it first. What does the golem do?
Okay.
I'm just holding the deed up and walking forward.
I'm going to move you to slightly off the map to show that you're still in the elevator. As you step out of the elevator holding the deed up, you can see that this golem starts to activate, and yeah, it's pointless for you to even roll a sense motive. You have a strong feeling that it's going to come attack you.
It's going to come? Is it
Yeah,
golem?
That the golem is going to attack.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that is a very sexual thing to say, Wintermute. Wow. Okay. So
I said come to you, not come on you.
you stopped after you said come. Did anyone else hear the rest?
He said, I heard the rest of it. He said it's going to come attack you.
Alright, maybe it's my bad internet. I'm like, he's just like, it's going to come. I'm like, wow.
So, let's roll for initiative. And I'll roll for Sith since he's... Figures he'd be AFK and is first.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to throw a whiz.
Actually, you're second. The golem is first.
Oh, okay. So we're still in the elevator, and Eric stepped out and showed it.
Yes. And it whirled life, and it's going to attack us anyway.
Oh.
I'm really surprised that you volunteered instead of sending me, since this was my dumbass idea to begin with.
I know.
And I'm going to put him back where this thing does have reach. And you see it reach out with one of its mechanical arms, and it bashes that glass cylinder that's right beside of it. And as the glass shatters, what to do with the picture? You see this protoplasm, it kind of gels up and
Is that a cat skeleton in there?
Could be a rat.
Nice. Ochre jelly.
absolutely.
That's called kicking it old school.
And that's its move. Would you like to come out of the elevator, Sith?
Not really.
Good thing I've got 10 of these alkali flasks.
Yeah, the alkali supposedly hurts that. So yeah, I guess So am I actually starting from the middle of that square?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll go.
And he pushes Eric into the jelly.
I will go to there.
Whoa. Okay,
That's
thanks.
weird.
The
Oh.
reason that happened is you were trying to continue the line from me, and
Yeah.
presumably that's what you meant to do.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll move to there. Since I don't have any other weapon, I guess I'm going to use bombs on it. Let's see here. Review this real quick. Okay. We're not hasted, right?
Correct.
Okay. But I will do rapid shot. So I get an extra bomb. So that lets me...
You can't do that.
I can't do that?
No, full attack only.
Oh, right, okay. So that's okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So I can only throw one bomb because I moved?
Correct.
Right. Okay. Let me... Shit, hold on.
Poppy, Sith has problems. I didn't think suicidal was one of them, because he just, like, swallowed an acid bomb.
Great.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. It's not like that. Don't be that way. Okay, so does a 26 hit?
Which one you targeting?
The alchemical golem. Let's call it the golem.
26 does hit.
Okay, and the second attack... Oh, no, he just gets the one bomb. Right, okay.
And how many bombs do you currently have?
I have 6 left.
Okay.
And then, so now I go up here for damage. How come I don't... Where's my...
Damage is via the weapon spot, not the spell part.
Yeah, but all my weapons... The only thing left is composite longbow. Where'd my... Oh, there it is. Okay. And there's just one bomb. So I gotta scroll back down here. Put that effect on him.
So, what's the +9 damage? Oh, do you have? What's your int modifier right now?
+8.
Oh, wow. Okay. What do I know about this stupid jelly thing?
It's good on toast.
Let's see. It's immune to critical, it's immune to precision, it's immune to electricity, it's immune to mind altering, it is immune to slashing, it is immune to piercing. And it secretes a digestive acid that dissolves only flesh and not bone. Slashing weapons, piercing weapons, and electricity attacks deal no damage to the jelly. Instead, the creature splits into 2 identical jellies, each with half of the original creature's hit points.
Oh, so then you could just basically have a slashing weapon, just cut it up until it can't split anymore, and then just step on each individual tiny piece. Nice.
Yes. Once they get low enough, they can no longer split, so...
Yeah, except each of those gets to make their own attack. So you have like 12 attacks per round coming in from it.
So basically, I am going to be like 90% of our damage.
You're going to be killing them both, yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, actually, I forgot on my bomb. They're right next to each other. The ochre jelly would take the splash damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sure would.
As long as acid doesn't have any adverse effect.
Wouldn't it be more than 9? Shouldn't it be... Isn't that the minimum damage?
Yeah, it's the minimum damage, and I do 5d6 plus 8. So 13 minimum. So could you please add 4 more, and then I'm going to adjust this.
Wait, no, is it, hang on a second. Is it the full minimum or the... I mean, I would just make it another weapon, the main damage.
Oh, up under the weapon? I have it down under the spell, but...
Yeah, it's the minimum damage. So yes, like you said, it should actually be 14 total, because you need to also have the +1 from point blank shot. You should really just make another special weapon for it.
Oh, okay.
So it should have 14 damage, not 9.
Okay, what are you? Can you please adjust?
I already have.
Okay. I am going to shout the Stith. Save your bombs. Let Poppy bash them. Don't hit the jelly with piercing or slashing.
I will acknowledge that.
And I am going to go into total defense. Which I should be. I have that relevant. Okay, so total defense is there. Alright.
And the jelly does not have reach.
Okay. I am going to move up to here. And that will provoke from the golem.
And the golem is more than happy to... Let's slam into you.
And that's a standard action, total defense, and a move action moving up. So that is all I'm doing. And we are now going to turn to the regular bashing time of Poppy, I believe.
That thing rolled a 37 for its slam attack. I feel... I'm trying to think of what would be the bigger threat here, the slime or the golem.
Do I have any rough gauge of power between them, Wintermute, that I would know?
I'm sorry.
Would I have a vague idea which is likely the bigger threat? Just in terms of CR, not specific to our party.
Yeah, you're... In the long run, you know the jelly's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with, but the golem is most definitely...
Alright, I'll shout, go for the golem.
Alright, then I'll wander up here.
Should also probably power attack it.
I did power attack it.
Oh, okay.
And I rolled...
Oh, you power attack on it twice. That's why.
How the fuck did that happen?
Because I was on there at a different initiative count, so it'll allow you to add it twice. So it should do 9 less damage than that, so it should do 24, not 33. And you should probably remove one to the power. Though technically speaking, if you just roll over to the next turn, it should automatically come off of you, so probably don't technically need to bother.
Okay, well, let's see. The jelly is gonna try to slam into Eric. No chance in hell. And he should not have resisted. Yeah, the damage reduction.
I know why. God damn it. It's resisting the acid because it's marked as spell. Even though it's not actually a spell.
Oh, okay, so I'll just add the 4 points to it.
Yeah. Why did we put the spell tag on it in the first place? Because DR won't affect it, will it? I think you can probably take this whole part off of it safely.
At the time.
Oh, you know what? It's because if the fucking incorporeals, I think that's what it was. Without it, it wouldn't affect the incorporeals.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah. So we can't have it work properly with both Wintermute because it's to affect both.
right. So.
It's a supernatural attack, but it should affect the incorporeals. But it's not. It does not allow spell resistance, so it should affect the goblins.
Yeah, I added the damage.
All right.
Okay, and let's see. It's going to try to slam into Poppy. And that would be a crit.
Well, this is gonna suck.
And it is going to move north.
So that
which would provoke.
From Poppy.
Yep.
Alright, well now I do have to.
Now you need to remember that. Oh, it's already one of them's already gone. It looks like. You're good.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, now we know what its AB bonus is. It's 19, and it just rolled like a. So it rolled what? Like a 17, a 20, and a 17 back to back to back?
Yeah.
Lovely. See, look at that. Lucky crit, and it's already looking really banged up. No problemo. Don't shoot the ooze.
So, all I have are bombs and bow and arrow. So, what do you want me to do here?
I mean, you can.
You don't want to use the bombs. It's kind of a.
I mean, you can try shooting Golem and hope you get past the DR.
No, like I said, the DR on the Golem is too high for the bow, but the bombs will affect both. So.
Don't use as many bombs earlier, so you have more than like 4 left in case we find something really nasty. Like, if we find another one of those, you know, spawn things, but that one that's vulnerable to bombs, I'd rather dump the 5 bombs on that than on this. I'm just saying.
Right. So, but I know the bombs will affect the jelly more than.
It'll affect both of them. The problem's that this isn't an encounter that.
What I'm saying is, if Poppy strikes the jelly, it can divide, right?
No, Poppy won't divide it.
Because he's using a bludgeoning weapon?
Yes,
correct.
Which is good, because, I don't know if you noticed, but its attack earlier was 7. That means because it wasn't an automatic miss, that means its AB has to be 5 or less, because if it was 6, it would be 1 automatic miss, right? So if it has an AB of 5 or less, it ain't hitting us except on a natural 20. We can just ignore it, basically.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a 5-foot step then.
Yeah, basically ignore the ooze, let Poppy beat down the golem is the basic idea right now. I am going to delay until after Poppy, so I'm moving my initiative down to like 11. Whoops, sorry. I was trying to...
Not a problem.
And I'm going to take a 5-foot step.
Power attack is currently on. Still.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
I don't know what initiative it was put on, but that's... Because it does say duration 1 left to you guys, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's correct, so... Well, we know it technically has more than, has more than 20 HP, I guess.
Hang on. Let me check something.
Are you trying... I wouldn't use your once per day reroll on this yet.
Why?
Because I don't think this is... It's already badly damaged.
Fine.
So, since Poppy just missed twice, problem is that if I just do total defense, it's likely going to go after Poppy again, so I have to pose some kind of threat to it. And given that it's a golem, I don't think like insulting its mother to get it to attack me is going to work so well.
Well, the hit that it got on me was a crit, and it did 34 out of my 104 damage. So
Yeah,
I can take another couple hits.
Exactly, and if things start to get really dicey, I can start throwing out things like Bard Song or whatever, right? So, right now I don't think we're in that much danger.
Yeah, so just stick with your total defense and I'll do my job and tank shit.
By the way, how many times has Poppy hit the golem? Like 3 times?
I've attacked it 4 times.
You've hit twice. So didn't you say Poppy takes
30.
damage from hitting it?
Yeah, he would take 2 points.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 points. I'm so afraid.
Were we supposed to,
Roll
what about with
save.
its attacks? Didn't you say its attacks did extra shit?
I think.
Yeah, just to make it easy, if you crit, it rolls a d6 extra damage. If you don't crit, you take 1 point of damage.
No, I mean on its attacks. Weren't you talking about like sickened or entangled or something earlier?
Oh, yes, you are right. Let's see, let's roll a d6. That would be 3, and
I have to roll like 2 different saves.
I think he's a random table. I think he said there's like 6 different things, 4 damage, and then 2 effect types or something.
Yes,
One of the 6 happened.
you take an extra 6 points of fire damage, Poppy.
Okay. I will try to stab this thing. That works.
That works very well.
We'll still do some damage through the damage reduction there.
Can you and maintain total defense?
No. But I still have, we know its AC is, AB is 19, I still have like 33 AC. So it's gonna have a hard time hitting me still. So, if I take a big hit, I can go back to total defense. But I think didn't you say like I take extra damage if I crit it?
Yes, you take 1, you crit, so you take 1d6. So that'd be an extra 5 to you. That would just be your first 5.
I growl as that stupid stuff splashes all over me.
Okay, this okra jelly. What the hell? It's gonna come up and try to slam into Poppy. And it misses by a mile.
This golem needs better friends.
And it's been a long time since I've thrown a bomb. I don't have to be 10 feet away to throw, correct?
No, but throwing in melee range will provoke an attack because it is a ranged attack. It will provoke.
You know what? Both of you all would get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. After you, ladies first. That's gonna hit. That apparently hits. And then we both take a point of damage as well, right?
Correct.
I added one onto me.
And I got Poppy. And it's going to throw a bomb at Poppy.
That provokes.
We just took those.
Ah,
Oh.
shit. It fucking missed. Damn it.
Poppy's
Wait a second.
AC
Yeah.
is better than 22.
Was that an actual touch attack?
Bomb is a ranged touch.
Oh yeah, that would have.
Does it say ranged or ranged touch on the actual description?
Give me a second. And it just says ranged.
Okay, but it's a bomb, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the actual attack doesn't say touched, but the description does say touch, right? It's a normal type of bomb that does touch. That's against touch AC.
It says bomb ranged, and that's it.
No, I mean under the details for that. Isn't there like something saying what that means below?
Oh yes, you are correct. It is a ranged touch attack.
Okay, so Poppy, I'm guessing your range touch is below
14.
Okay.
So as I just said, that actually would have hit.
Yep, so let's do some damage on Poppy. And Sith, you are up, sir.
Well, I guess I'll just hold my action.
Finish him.
Power attack finally went away. Oh, come on! Fuck this game. I'm taking my dice and going home. Oh wait, I already am home. Well, I fucking died anyway, so... Grr, fuck you. So, I guess that I will redirect my second attack at the slime monster thing. Would I... Oh, wait.
22 would hit.
Okay.
Okay, here's the problem, and I suspected this might become a problem. I have versatile weapon on Poppy, which allows the weapon itself to bypass damage reduction, but it actually doesn't like make it slashing. Just like if I put versatile weapon on it for like cold iron, it's not actually a cold iron weapon, it just counts enough to bypass cold iron reduction, right? So, like,
so he would take the full 33 points of damage.
Yeah, so can you like disable versatile weapon without erasing it? Because as long as that's on there, Fantasy Grounds will interpret it incorrectly. But
Got it.
we also don't want to lose track of the actual duration on it.
Got it.
Alright, so it did take 33 points of damage, yes.
Yes, it did.
And it's already looking heavily wounded, so...
Yeah, if you can't hit the jelly, you don't need to be playing this game.
And let's see. Looking at the jelly, I don't think there's anything I actually need to do here, so I'll just wait.
Okay, and the jelly is going to try to slam into Poppy again. Nope.
I'm curious, is there any special reason that that golem decided to bring an absolutely useless slime into this fight?
It's a trap, I believe, of the monster kind for us to, if we attack it.
So it was hoping that we would go for the slime first.
Or hit it with slashing weapons to split it or something, yeah.
But it wasn't programmed to count on the fact that we have a super genius in our midst.
Hey, you know what? Sith does have a really high intellect.
Goddamn right he does.
Okay, you have defeated the golem and the jelly. And let's see, looking around the room a little bit
Are we
better
considered out
now.
of combat at this point?
Yes, you are out of combat.
I will draw a wand and you start using charges.
Heal, heal, heal.
I almost died for once. Actually, no, that Revenant almost got me too, so for like the second time in this entire game.
Okay, the stained glass windows are, you're underground, one floor, but yet there is light coming from behind these stained glass windows. You can tell that there is a hinge on each side of the window that allows you to open it and to place a sun rod or some other form of lighting behind it in order to illuminate the stained glass window from behind.
I vote we leave the windows alone because at this rate we're probably going to end up unleashing fire elementals.
Where would you get that idea from?
Gee, I wonder.
I wonder. Okay, so there's these beautiful stained glass windows that we are not touching. Anything else we notice?
Do. A9. Okay, that goes over there. Other than, just some alchemical gear lining the walls, the surgery is pretty much empty other than, just the equipment. No books,
So
no
this
no
is literally
notes.
just a room that is used for surgery, but there's nothing else of relevance here.
Correct.
Is there any reason we would mess with the room? I mean... So hang on, repeat your description of them.
This room is a wide space with a floor of dingy white tiles. It's got the broad wooden table, 3 darkened stained glass windows. The windows depict an angel with the hands inside the body of a patient, and a shining light is erupting from the wounds of the smiling victim. Neat rows of alchemical gear line the walls, and above the large viewing hole. So yeah, pretty much this was just, you know, an XP room.
Okay. For now, I suggest we leave the windows alone. We could investigate them later, because we did notice that the dumbwaiter can descend below. I'd vote we check that out before messing with the windows. Any objections to that idea?
I second the motion.
Fine with me.
Okay, Steph, you want to roll a disable device for the lock on the elevator?
Yes.
That's good enough. Okay, you managed to disable the lock to allow the elevator to descend down even further. And assuming you're all jumping on the elevator. Let's see. You drop down roughly about 60 more feet in the elevator. And you come out into a and I'm going to unmask part of the map. Like I said, you descend about 60 feet down and it opens drag you all over there. And once again, I'm going to assume you're all still in the elevator while you scope the place out. And through the elevator, you can see this large chamber, and you can hear dripping water and trickling streams of water echoing off the stone wall. You can see filthy water seeping between the stones of the large chamber. And as you descend, okay, as you descend, you surprise the occupants of the chamber. And they're already on the map. God, I love these paid modules.
It is nice, isn't it? Click, click, and boom.
You see two of these centipede-looking critters and two Derros in the room as well.
Here we go again.
I love this little wild-eyed guy. And when they notice that you're not Miyakian Mun,
Wait, we're not? Are you sure we're not?
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not. Aeon's not as smart as you, Eric.
This is in fact Miakian Mun next to me. He just made himself an elf. They fall for the bluff of 28.
No, they do not.
I'm just saying, like, even if the lie is impossible, that's only a minus 20 to the DC. Far-fetched is only minus 10. So if that's a far-fetched, you know, lie, they still have to make a DC 18 sense motive check.
And yes, they made a DC 18 sense motive check naturally.
I tried, guys.
They mount their centipedes, and it's time to roll initiative.
Also, what squares are they actually in?
Zoom in on my map here, and way to go, Fantasy Grounds. You should have lined them up on the grid. And I'm going to slide the Alchemist just to the side of it to show that they are indeed mounted on these centipede.
Oh god, we're using mounted rules?
Really
had to use mounted rules.
Let's see. Yeah.
Also, don't your actual splash effects from your bombs, don't those technically give reflex saves? I think we forgot to include that, but the jelly probably failed it.
Yeah. Yeah, the jelly was actually a horrible creature, stat-wise. And let's see, everyone's rolled for initiative, so we're ready to start this. And that would be that.
So we're all in the elevator right now? We're all in that
Yes,
square?
you are in the elevator.
Okay, so can you move me into that square? So first of all, what do I know about these centipedes?
The centipedes are like centipedes, you know, they're long segmented creatures. You can tell that its body is covered in patches of a glowing blue fungus. Oh, that's pretty cool. They are immune to mind-altering effects.
I'm guessing they're vermin then?
Actually, they are a large magical beast.
Well then.
They do not have reach. No DR, no special vulnerabilities. You know, once per day, they can cause these patches of fungi that grow along its body to release a bright flash of blue light that provides bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light in a 40-foot. You gotta make a will save or be stunned by the bright light for 1 to 4 rounds. And if you're within the 40-foot range, you are confused for 1 to 2 rounds. You do know that they are poisonous. And let's see. You know that Derros have long used other creatures in experiments with alchemical and magical augmentation. For the most part, you know, generally the experiments do not have the results that they had planned on. However, with these creatures, they kind of got it right.
1 second, BRB. Back, sorry.
Oh, not a problem.
So you finished your discussion of what they did? Anything in particular relevant from what I missed there?
Just the flash, and they are poisonous.
And what can I tell about these Derros? What are they like holding? What kind of equipment do they have? What vibe do I get from them?
Okay, let's see. I should have a picture of that.
For example, is there any reason for me to think they're alchemists? And I ask for no particular reason.
Yes, you are firmly convinced that they are alchemists. And let me give you a description of what they are carrying. That is in a sidebar. That might be under equipment. You can tell that I really thought there was a picture for that. They are holding spears, and at the tip of the spear, for lack of a better description, it has it's an injection spear, and you know, it's kind of got a big ass needle on the end of it.
Cool, more needles.
It's truly, other than that, it's identical to a normal spear, except it can't be thrown. And let's see. Yeah, you're pretty confident that they are alchemists. And no immunities, no damage reduction.
Okay then, let's get this party started. Do I need to move? Don't think I need to move quite that far. I know I don't need to move that far.
Yeah, you do.
That's gonna start moving to there, I think. Can you adjust my position?
Yeah.
That's good enough. And I'm going to start saying, doom, 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 doom. It is very scary.
And since they're mounted, it seems like them and their mount should have the same initiative. That not make sense?
I'm not sure how that works. If you also want their mount to act in combat, like is the creature going to be attacking in addition? In which case, it seems like they should have to use the worst initiative. Like the rider might be ready, but if the mount's not ready, then the rider has to wait until the mount is ready.
Well, you know, I'll give you that one. So we'll make him 11 and the 13 becomes 10. And let's see, he can't.
So just to make this a little easier, can you drop Centripede's initiative to 9? And the same thing for Derro Alchemist 8? Because right now, the Alchemist 8's having to wait for Centipede 4, right? But because all 3 of them are on initiative 10 right now,
Yeah, I didn't see Sith there in the middle. Okay, and you can tell that he is, the Derro is, he's casting an extract. And he is,
Can I figure out what he's doing?
yes, you can tell. Are you kidding? They didn't give me the effect. He is drinking bark skin.
Okay.
Which is increases by 1 for every 3 levels. So that would be 4. And in the process, he is telling the centipede to go ahead and move in. Giddy up and it's gonna come up and try and bite you, Eric.
Why is that one centipede sideways?
How do you know it's sideways? Maybe the other one is, sideways. We need to determine which way it should be.
Okay, Sith, you are in the elevator, sir.
I am in the queue. I'm just going to step. I'm just going to go in here. And then I'm going to just,
could he 5-foot step and full attack with his bow?
Yeah, I was going to just do a 5-foot step, but that leaves me right in front of the door. I guess that's fine, though. Move me back to there. Poppy will just have to go charging around me. And then, I guess just this alchemist here.
Wintermeat, can you put him in the square proper?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay, and then I will
Are
be
you rapid shotting?
bow, and I will rapid shot. So let me put my rapid shot on there.
Eric's kind of like the life coach of the team.
He's a helper.
Someone has to do it.
You don't want me helping you. Looks like hit, miss, hit. So 2 hit.
2 hits. Okay, Alchemist number 8. Eric, you can tell that he is drinking an extract of haste. And he spurs his centipede forward. And the centipede's gonna try and bite you. And haste would be... Haste is 1 round per level. And he misses you.
Alright, well, presumably I'm there in the elevator. So I'm gonna... You know what, I'm gonna charge.
Technically can't charge due to the angles involved. But you could move there.
Okay, then I'm gonna move there and bop this centipede on the head.
Now, technically, if Poppy wanted, couldn't Poppy hit the alchemist who's mounted on the centipede?
Yes, Poppy could.
Whichever you prefer to do, Poppy.
And I'm gonna slide them out just so they're easier to target.
Well,
Again.
Time to change those dice color, Poppy. Eric.
I'm still singing about doom 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 doom. And I did see this guy drink that potion of shield. It's probably going to be kind of hard to hit. But Poppy is going from the one on the south, and I'm relying more on Poppy here, so let's go for the guy on the south.
Nice spin.
Thank you, thank you.
With a nice roll.
And I stab him twice. Wintermute?
Yes, sir.
I would normally not complain about this. At all. So you don't have to do anything unless you want to, okay? Guessing the bark skin lasts more than 1 round.
Yes, you are correct.
Now again, I have no objections to the current situation. You can leave it alone. I will not.
And that's 10 minutes per level. And let's see, with him sitting on the centipede, he should be able to hit you, wouldn't you think?
Yes, they should be able to attack from any corner of their square, other than mounted, I believe.
Okay.
The mounted rolls. The
He's gonna try and hit you with his injection spear, and miss horribly.
Not cool, man.
And Mr. Centipede is gonna try and bite. Nope.
Doom, 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 doom.
Okay, number 8 is gonna try to inject Poppy.
Not cool, man. Don't do drugs.
And he misses, and since he is hasted, we're gonna take a second attack, which is even worse than the first one.
There's a lot of awesome there.
And Centipede's gonna try to bite Poppy. Nope.
Well, that was only mildly useful.
It's taken that hit and 2 hits from me, and it's still only wounded. Fucker has a lot of hit points.
And Eric.
I will keep singing Doom for right now, because these injection spears and centipedes and stuff have me worried. Down to 7 more rounds of Bird Song, though, so if we could kill at least 1 or 2 of these things fast, so I'd be more comfortable letting the bardic performance cease, that would be very helpful. This he'd better be heavy, okay. I stab him twice and shout for assist to attack the guy we're attacking.
Number 12 or number 8?
Number 12. Sorry, number 8. Number 8. No, number 8.
Oh, so you want number 8? Want me to switch?
That's what Poppy's attacking. I figure we follow Poppy's
We're
lead.
attacking number 8.
Oh, I was just chewing.
In Sith's defense, he started by attacking number 12, then you decided to go for 8.
No,
So
I got confused because I was looking at Alchemist 12 and Centipede 8, which was still healthy, and not Alchemist 8, which was heavy on the truck.
Okay, it's number 8, and let's see, that would be bomb. For range touch on a dex of 20, do you know what the bonus is offhand?
for what? Sorry.
A dex of 20. What the modifier is?
Modifier 5.
5. Plus 5, and can't believe they didn't set up the bomb attack on them.
Okay, well, if they're throwing a bomb, first of all, that'll provoke from Poppy and myself. Oh, sorry, not from Poppy, it'll provoke myself.
Yep.
Then the bomb will be whatever their BAB is, so you need to figure out what their BAB is. Then it is, if their dex is 20, it'd be 5 on top of that. unless they have something else that would give them a bonus to bomb specifically, then that's all they get. So it'd be plus 12 on range. It'd be like ranged touch plus 12 is what it exactly should say to in their stat block to get it to do what you want it to do. Ranged touch plus 12, space in between. Then, if they have point blank shot, that would be a bonus. I don't know if they do. Then, if they have precise shot, they would need that to not get a -4 penalty. That is different from precise bombs, which they may also have.
Yes, they do have precise bombs.
Okay, but if they don't have precise shot, since they're engaged in melee with us, then they will get a -4 penalty due to trying to avoid hitting us. So there, you should add that as like a -4 penalty in like the modifier box when you roll, and they should also get -2 automatically from shaken, assuming you use an AB attack. So that effectively would be whatever. Do you want to just tell me what their BAB is?
Yeah, it's 7.
Okay, so it'd be 7 plus 5 should say plus 12, which I think is what we just said or something,
Right,
right?
-4, and then the shaken would automatically apply from the effect.
Yes.
Okay, let's throw this damn bomb at Eric.
What? Okay.
Let's
so
see.
So if he had 20, then I'm basically trying to make sure he's having the -2 effect from the shaken applied, but I'm not sure that did. It didn't say -2. -2 on your end?
Yeah, I've got touch affects -2 and then -4 for the modifier box.
Okay, so he effectively rolled a 14 there?
He rolled, yeah.
Okay, cool. That all works then. Damn it. Why couldn't he have missed?
And that does hit, and...
But I do get an attack first.
Yep.
But I miss.
And you take 16 points of damage. The centipede...
What type of damage?
Acid.
Okay.
And
so if he's throwing acid bombs at me, does that mean I have cyst effect on me as well?
that you have what?
The don't acid bombs do the extra 1d6?
Not from Derro's.
Okay. I just thought that was part of the innate acid bomb discovery, which I assume they're having if they're throwing acid bombs, but I'm not an alchemist expert.
I'm not either, so if I get an extra 6 points of damage, I'm going to take it.
Well, here's question 1. Does this guy have the acid bomb discovery?
Yes, they do have acid bomb discovery.
Then if I take a direct hit, I do get that damage ongoing effect. So Sith, you want to put your damage effect on me, you traitorous bastard, you?
Just one?
Just one.
And yeah, you take 1 point of damage, which I adjusted.
Oh, never mind. You just gave me that. You can take that effect off now.
I got it,
so. Bomb effect on.
Make up your mind here. I mean, it's kind of a.
Hey, I didn't realize Winter Mute would jump the gun and make me take damage now when I'm not supposed to take it.
Oh no. The 1d6 is ongoing.
Yes.
Okay.
But but it's resolved now. I'll just take the damage preemptively so we can move on.
Sith.
Going to take a 5-foot step. These have a lot of hit points.
And I'm going to copy that. And add it to that one. And Poppy, you would get an opportunity of attack because he's going to throw a bomb.
Which one?
8. And would you probably not get one as well, Eric?
I do, I just don't have combat reflexes, so I can't do anything about it. And this is so unfair. I rolled a 23 and missed, and Poppy rolled a 23 and hit. Wow.
Okay, and he is going to throw a bomb at Poppy. Please, for the love of God, hit.
Holy shit, did that do like max damage or something?
Short of, well, for the dice roll, yeah, it did 2 6s and 2 5s and plus 2, so you know it did max dice damage.
Whew.
And since he has the discovery as well, he would get Sith's ongoing bomb effect.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind dragging that over to Poppy, please?
Poppy gets the effect.
Yep. And from there, the centipede is gonna try and bite Poppy. And it bit its own tongue. And Poppy takes some ongoing acid damage.
Please kill this thing, Poppy. You need to change the color on your dice. This is the only explanation.
I already did.
Can we like sacrifice Dolian to the gods of RNG?
You know what? Hold up. I'm taking my fucking reroll.
Okay.
So if he gets another 1 on this reroll.
I was really hoping for that one.
Nope, suck it.
Okay, number 8 kind of falls off the back of the centipede and hits the ground.
Okay. I'm going to try a slightly different tactic here. I'm going to shout, "Kill the thing this thing's this is riding on." And shit, we don't have any languages in common except common, do we? Do I know if Derro speak? Fuck it. Do I know if Derro speak common? Just out of curiosity.
Surprisingly, they do not speak common.
Okay. I'll tell them to try to shoot the mount from underneath the other guy. So hopefully we can potentially capture him or something, find out what the hell is going on and what this whole place is. And that is another Dirge of Doom, down to 6 rounds. And I'll take a 5-foot step to there too. Actually, after Poppy's attack, would Poppy have taken a 5-foot step to there?
Maybe.
That way you're in range of both and can take attacks of opportunity if he throws another bomb. Would you have done that?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you all hear me?
Now we can.
Yep.
Okay, I just momentarily paused everything. Okay, you know what? Number 12. Yeah, he's gonna throw another bomb, so you all would get AoEs.
AoEs? What kind of AoE are we doing?
AOOs.
Okay, just confused here.
That's the kind of AoE we're doing.
Okay, I like this kind.
Do you?
Fuck it, we're going for it. We're going for it. Come on, high roll. Okay. I stab him in a non-lethal area.
Okay, and since Poppy just hit the hell out of him, we're going to do attack on Poppy and pay back a little bit. Very little bit. And Centipede's gonna go after Poppy. Nope.
Okay. So I'm shooting the Derro or the bug?
The bug for right now.
Which bug? Left bug or right bug?
8 bug 8.
That was pretty uneventful.
Yes, it was. And let's see, Centipede number 4 is gonna try and bite Poppy. Damn it, didn't confirm. And Poppy, while we're at it, let's pull up the right sheet. Would you like to, well, I don't care if you'd like to or not, but let's make a fortitude save.
Okay.
Okay, you're up.
Did, right? He ordered you to succeed.
Yes, he did.
Knock that one out, Poppy. Is Poppy going to try to do so?
No.
Nope.
Fucking not. I love how I just got the exact same rolls 2 turns in a row.
Telling you, the dice have lain idle too long.
I'm going back to black. Fuck this. This just made it worse.
I did not hit. I think this is going to be the last round to use Dirge of Doom.
And, you know, yep, he's gonna try, and you guys want to make another attack of opportunity?
Yes. After you, ladies first. You have black numbers apparently now.
I know I did that on purpose.
Well, I guess we know what its AC is. He reaches into his pockets to try to come in inside, just like stab him, and he falls, knocks the fuck out.
How do you get to unconscious?
Okay.
I hit him with non-lethal damage earlier.
Oh, non-lethal damage earlier. Oh, okay.
Number 8 is gonna try and bite Poppy.
So,
nope.
by the way, does that mean like he falls off the mount?
Yes.
Is there any falling damage associated with that?
No.
Dang.
Not high enough. And Sith, you are up, sir.
Okay, I will do my 3 attacks. What is the crit range on a longbow? Composite longbow?
20 only,
20?
unless you have improved critical,
Okay.
which you literally can't have at this level.
Right, no, I get it. For some reason I thought it might be 1920, but I was thinking something else. Anyway, I hit him twice. For 18 points. Does not seem to have really affected him much.
And
But remember, all of these NPCs, so remember, first of all, these NPCs were meant for a party of 4, and then they also had all their hit points maximized. So, we're supposed to have like a Dolian and a Rock helping, and then Wintermute gave them all like 50% more hit points on top of that.
oh, like you all have had any damn problem.
We had a total party kill, effectively, with that dragon, sir.
Short of the dragon, you know, you're up, Poppy.
Sith is constantly frustrated because he can't use his bombs more freely because we're gonna run out because the enemies have so many hit points, and just point that out too. Like,
You're up, Pop.
Oh. I didn't hear the thing go off.
Damn, these things just don't go down.
Yeah, 63 damage and it's still kicking.
I am, however, going to stop my bard song. Try to finish this bug off. That killed it, and then I will swing a second attack onto the other bug.
And he is unconscious. Steph, you are up, sir.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to the other centipede now.
Amusing. There's a crit and a hit, and a 2 hit.
So it's 2 normal hits and a crit?
Yep.
One normal hit and a crit, I think. No, it is 2 normal hits and a crit. You're right.
Yeah, so I hit it all 3 times. In one
Yep,
of
that's true. That's
So
true.
I just click my damage 3 times and it'll figure
The
it out.
first one should be a crit, and the second 2 should be normal damage. Automatically. In theory, that's how the system should handle it.
No, the first one I rolled a 3, but it
Right,
hit.
but the last thing to confirm was the confirmed crit, so it's going to basically go in reverse order. See, that's the crit.
Oh, I see.
And then you roll twice. And if you had crit twice there on 2 attacks, it would only roll the crit once. It only looks for the very last roll. That's the downside
Oh,
of the system.
Okay. But I did 33 points altogether. And it's going to take its anger out on Poppy.
Of course.
It can damn well try.
Poppy angry.
Poppy found some dice colors that work.
It's pure white.
Whatever, that works. So just to recap, we came down here. This dumbwaiter descends like 60 extra feet, and it's looking like it may be opening into an entire underground complex, right?
Correct.
We may be getting to the point where we want to grab the loot that we found, grab the Derro leader, possibly this guy, and mention to the authorities that some shit's going on here. And at least recover a day before coming back.
Oh, that works for me.
Yeah, I can wait an extra day to kill you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to make sure that we have this guy surrounded and tied up by Poppy. And then I will use a wand. First of all, I'm assuming we're out of combat at this point?
Yes.
Alright, so there's 2 charges, then I'll need 6 on Poppy. That's 8 charges used. I set that down to 5 charges on the wand of Cure Light Wounds we have. We need to do some communal buying of a few things once we get back to the surface and sell this shit. Stuff that the party's gonna need overall.
Okay.
And so Poppy presumably ties the sucker up.
Yes.
And I'll pop him with the wand, so he's currently bound and helpless and standing over him. And I'll just have this irate look on my face and say, Lau sent his favorite servants to check up on Moon, and this is the welcome we receive? What the hell is going on here?
We were not told of that. We did our job. We attack any intruders that is not either us or Miakian Mun.
So you're not thieves in his place, is what you're claiming, because from our perspective, it kind of looks like you're in his basement right now. And last we were told there weren't any Derro down here, but maybe we're out of the loop.
Well, I would say you're out of the loop, because, you know, if you were sent by Miakian Mun, you would know that we're down here.
We were sent to check up on Moon, but apparently Lau, so do you even know that name?
No, not really.
I'm gonna sense mode of that with a 30. Do I think he's telling the truth?
Yes, you're pretty confident that this particular Derro does not know Count Laos.
Laos is an associate of Moon. They're longtime partners. And actually, judging by what we can tell here, it looks like our boss and Mun left to go someplace. We're just not sure where at this point. As I don't know, something must have come up. We're kind of confused. We're trying to find out, see if we can find Moon, see if he had a hidden place here. Looks like he's gone, and then we find you guys infesting the place, which seems very strange. So, are you associates of the Moon like we're associates of Lao? Perhaps you can fill in some of the missing blanks here.
Yes, we are associates. You know, we are in his house.
How far does this basement extend then? Because this looks like this is just starting.
There is one other chamber to this area. And
Go on.
I like it. And let's see, we'll mark him. He is tied up. And we're going to have lag for just a second. Yes, there is one other chamber, and you can tell that, you know, he's being truthful with you. And he talks.
I'll kind of frown and say, like, I feel like I'm missing something here. Why would Moon have a handful of Derros down in a basement with just 2 chambers here? Because I don't see any, like, experimental tables around here like your kind usually are doing. I don't think Laos is just hanging out with you guys just for, I'm guessing you guys are doing something. Because you both like alchemy.
Yes, Bun is doing, you know, he's doing experiments for us.
So, you guys just came here from out of town? Is that what you're claiming, and snuck into his house under the dead of night?
Uh, Um, Out of character for a minute. These Derros are from underneath Casimir. And there are several secret accesses linking Casimir to the Derro city below. And what in the... before I finish answering your question, do you mind if we take 5 minutes? So I want to make sure I give you a correct answer. Yeah, so let's take 5 and we'll pick up here.
Alright.
Okay, see you in a minute.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay. Yes, this Derro tells you... Sorry, one more second, please.
Just so we're on the same page, right? I'm trying to figure out what the Derro doing here. I'm trying to figure out what the relationship is with Moon. Because, and like I said, and that part was being, not deceitful. It's not like they're working on, as far as we can tell so far, it's not like there's secret alchemical experiments down here that they're working on for Moon, right? This is like way underneath his house in a way more secure location. I'm trying to figure out, these a group of people like who came in to help him? Are they... You said, in character I don't know this because, you just mentioned it out of character, but out of character apparently the answer is that there's this like entire city of Derro underneath this, which is obviously something that would be very much worth knowing and finding out.
Yes.
Which is the...
There is a Derro city underneath Casimir, and there are several secret tunnels, entrances from the city to the Casimir itself, and it just so happens that the infirmary sits above one of these secret entrances.
Now, is this something we know, or is that something this guy's telling us, or are you just telling us but stuff we don't actually know yet? If you just want to skip the conversation and say we find out that in general from talking to him, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's just say you find that out in general talking to him. And, let's see. Munn has been doing some experimentation for the Derros, and they have provided him with victims in the past, and currently providing him with members of, providing them with Derros that are fleshy. Let's see, where was that about Mun? Out of character, Mun has, he's after the profane knowledge and the unparalleled techniques of the Derros. And
wait, I thought you said the Derros failed most of their alchemy experiments.
Most times they do. And, basically, and, this Derro would be able to tell you that Mun has been experimenting on their behalf, and he's trying to find a way to grow a second skin so these Derros can move in sunlight.
Is that one of the whole reasons he's making the hollow ones?
Yeah, the hollow ones are, I'm sure the hollow ones are part of it, and assistance for him. The hollow ones he made to provide as a cover, when he wants to clearly be seen in one location when he is actually somewhere else. And Um, the experimentation for the Derros hasn't been going on. You know, it's been going on for a month, couple of months to a year. The hollow ones he made much longer ago, a longer time ago. And like I said, you know, it's just cover for him, and as well as you know, laboratory assistants and so forth.
Gotcha. Alright, so what we did find out from the Derro is that there's apparently like an city below, and this is an entrance to one. So I don't know about you guys, but if there's potentially like the entrance to Derro City, I would rather leave things here for now and like actually go rest. And you know, we have at least 2 captives now that we can turn over to the authorities and basically say, look, we're not asking you to try to charge headfirst into a Derro den, but we'll do so. But you might want to like keep the place under watch or something, right? So they don't sneak out and go into town. Does that seem reasonable to you guys?
Yeah, because you know, for the most part, city officials would be glad to be able to close up one of the entrances to the Derros.
Okay, so then presumably we get back up the dumbwaiter. Is there a way, once we get up to the top level of the main floor, that Sith can figure out how to like jam it and prevent it from being called back down? So we can make sure the Derro don't come up that way?
Yeah, it would be possible for him to jam it.
Alright, so Sith jams the dumbwaiter. Poppy's busy literally carrying oh, and we bop this guy in the head like, we need to have a little group discussion. Sorry, and bop him on the head so he's unconscious again. You know, without saying yet that, you know, we're, you know, against him. Just like, you know, given you try to kill us, we'd like to discuss this, you know, privately. So, good night again for now.
Boom, and you bash him on the head and he's unconscious again.
So then we'll grab him. Poppy's like carrying 2 Derros, right? One, it's the Twain Derro, right? Who's tied up, and then this guy who's tied up, and we're carrying them. Oh, this should be good. What's this gonna be? Nice. So we're carrying those 2 Derros on Poppy's shoulders as we just walk back through town. I would vote, unless there's an objection, that we head back for the bar where we found Ethan Baylor. And we just walk in that direction, you know, the intent of finding him. And if guards stop us and ask why we're carrying up, you know, tied up Derro through the middle of the city, you know, in broad daylight before them, then we can talk to them and other authorities.
I have a question. Is a mule a race? Like, do we have a mule for a barbarian? Just wondering. It's like we're loading up. Seems like we're loading up Poppy with a lot of, well, everything.
Poppy's strong. Poppy's a vampire, can't you tell?
Come on, Poppy, you can do it. Who needs a haversack when you got Poppy?
And out of character, this little adventure at Miakian Mun's, you have learned everything that you need to know.
Okay, the other question is there treasure we're missing still that we'd find if we investigate more?
Let's see. There is nothing in the room that you are currently in.
Well, there's 2 main things we'd want to check, right? We would want to go through that next room and investigate and find out where the entrance to the city is and how to seal it off and stuff, right? So whatever lies down here. And then we may also want to actually examine those stained glass windows in more detail to see if there's anything interesting about them.
Right. Um, Before you knock the Derro out, he would tell you that, in the drowning pit is where the entrance is, and that pit is through, that set of doors in this room. And he tells you that if you go in there, you need to expect trouble.
Okay, so we can resume and encounter that trouble later on then. For doing our civic duty to the town. Speaking of expecting trouble, as we do our Derro tied up march through the town, does anyone stop us on the way to meet Ethan?
Let's see. You were in the skin stitches there. Mackie and Munn. What would you say? All total, you've spent a couple of hours tops inside the infirmary. So, back from session 31, it was noon when you arrived at the infirmary and went in. So, it's 2 o'clock. You know that Derros are damaged by sunlight.
So, I thought you were just telling me stuff I cared about.
Do you want to?
This as a good thing, we can weaken them.
Do you want to cover them as you bring them through town, or just let them absorb the damage?
I don't know about you two, but I'm fine with them absorbing the damage and being weaker.
I guess.
Okay.
These are like chaotic, evil, mad alchemists that use poison and other stuff, right? So.
Okay. As you go through town, people, if they're not familiar with the Derros, they've at least heard of them or heard the rumors of them being in town, and the fact that you're carrying / dragging 2 of them through town, no one's interrupting you.
Like, we ain't messing with those guys.
They see this heavily loaded gnome that's not in a good mood. And, they give you a wide berth, but everyone is looking at you. And...
Alright, so we show up, then presumably we show up at the entrance to the tavern where Tim is, and we go in and we see if he's there. You told about the gnomes. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
You talked about like the gnomes beaching or something, right? Where they like need constant stimuli to new things to prevent them from like going old or something. I figure this should help with that.
Absolutely, this will definitely stimulate them, and Ethan's like, oh my God, where did you find these?
Well, we went to Moon's place to try to have a talk with him per our discussion. And, we found this and some other kind of, terrible things there. Now, I don't know offhand, I'm not sure if Boone was fully aware, but it kind of looks like he was. But he doesn't seem to be there right now to ask. I think he's kind of been leading a double life on you all.
And Ethan had suspicions anyway. You know, they'd seen a lot of people coming to visit Munn, but no one ever saw him leave. And, you know, now with the Derros, what is it? The Order of the Esoteric Knights is definitely very interested in finding out what is happening in Munn's place.
I don't mention that, we jammed a elevator going down to the, where the Derros seem to be, and, we captured some of these other Derros, lurking around, including this one that seems to be the leader. And, for now, unless it seems that we're, he's going to try to get us into trouble, I'll leave out some of the worst of the things, like the immature spawn of Yogg Saroth, or whatever it was.
Sheb-Naguth, Naruth, something like that.
Because, I figure he has enough nightmares for now. We can always bring that up later on to help him with the bleaching.
Well,
I'll just basically be like, yeah, it seems he was creating, these awful experiments with people, and, there's these Derros there. And I'll mention, that we haven't spoken to the apparent leader yet. We thought some of the city's some of the city's authorities might be interested in finding that kind of information out when we rouse her.
Oh, absolutely. He'll contact the other members of the Esoteric Order, and as well as the authorities, and truly they can take it from here.
And I'll also mention that one.
Go ahead.
That, according to one of them, there's an entrance to that, whatever the underground Derro city was called, and we were planning on trying to find it and seal it off so that Derros couldn't come up from that anymore.
Truly, you can do that if you want, or the proper authorities of Casimir can take care of that for you. Out of character, as I said before, you found everything that you need.
Did we find all of the loot, or is there more loot still there?
You have, let me check the surgery, which, no loot. You have found all the loot that is available from the infirmary.
Okay, well...
As a matter of fact, I'll just show you what you're missing on the map.
Okay.
And... come on, unmask. At this room, you see a stinking chamber, and there's water dripping and so forth down the sides of the walls. And this wet chamber at the far end is a great hole that opens up in the center. And even from a distance, you can hear water running down through this hole. And outside the hole, the water is 2 feet deep. Water is going down the hole at a rate of 5 feet per round. And it's actually down that hole is the hidden entrance to the Derros.
In the water? You have to swim down through the water to get there?
Have you seen that picture on the internet where they're showing a lake and they got that big round hole in the middle of it where, you know, it's an overflow? And yeah, it's not, the hole itself is not full of water. It's just, you know, you're climbing down a waterfall for quite some distance. Yeah, it doesn't say how far it is to the Derro city, but it is, let's see.
I stepped away to use the bathroom, and I came back to a Spaceballs link and a room full of ugly motherfuckers. What I missed.
You can climb down into the pit, and you find down in the pit you find a winding tunnel that eventually makes its way to the Derro city. But, you know, you're talking several hours of climbing and walking the dark tunnels.
I don't have that many bombs.
Yeah, and truly, you're not designed to go down into it. The adventure doesn't cover all that. And, you know, this is pretty much just a room of XP. And all the Derros that appear to be in the water are hanging from chains above the water. They're roughly 10 feet above the water.
Do they just hang there all day or something?
You know, they don't explain why they're hanging there. And
so they basically just made like an opener for a whole entire sub adventure, and then just said fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
So, wrapping up this little part, you've got all the treasure out of the house. You've cleared the house. Uh, 5,000 platinum pieces is how much in gold? 5,000?
How many platinum pieces?
500.
Yeah, 5,000 gold.
So, yeah, I did give you the gold piece value for the diamonds.
Okay.
So, by now, from Munz, you've got definite proof that, you know, Laos is headed to the Mysterium in Katir.
Which we already knew, but I guess we confirmed it.
Yes. And and that brings us to part 2 of this adventure, which begins with leveling up to level 11.
Awesome.
Great.
Wow,
my laptop.
So we hit level, so just literally just going through this infirmary got us from 10 to 11?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
Going by story-based XP, but yeah. Because, you know, the Dark Young was a CR11, the hollow ones were CR10, Twain was a CR12. So the math might add up.
Hang on, Twain was more deadly than the Dark Spawn?
Yes.
Wow. I am disappointed.
Yep.
Okay. So, does anyone want anything on there that we're going to sell that we haven't marked already or altered?
I don't think so.
Alright, you want to go ahead and sell all that then, Wintermute? We're selling it for 50% here in the city. Do we get any? It would actually no. Like, I wouldn't be fair to do the bonus because I would misrepresent the jewelry at this point. So that'd be more effort than it's worth. I take it back. It'd be nice to get better than a 50% rate for, you know, discovering the stuff below, but then the jewelry would be getting more than we should because this is. Is there anything on here that's like not? Except for the crowbar. I think everything else is jewelry, art, or anything anyway, right? So, yeah, forget I said anything.
Okay. The deed to the infirmary. You want to keep it?
I mean, does Ethan have any ideas on that in particular when we're talking to him? So, I mean, having a quote-unquote base of operations here would hurt, but on the flip side, you know, the authorities might want to take control of it, especially if we're not going to be here and we're leaving to Cathier.
Yeah, if you're willing to part with it, Ethan would like to hold on to the deed.
Anyone have any objections?
Nope.
We'll hand the deed over, and hopefully we've bought ourselves some goodwill if we come back in this direction in the future.
Okay, let's see. Now those are 0, so nothing on the party sheet. And okay, so let's sell that for 60% as normal.
Well, that's what I'm saying in this case.
Well,
it shouldn't be
60% for the crowbar.
because we doubled it, remember? So yeah, it'll literally just be the crowbar, right? So that's why I was saying forget the 60% because in this case it should only be 50% because you know because we're already getting full value for all the art. So they're not going to pay us a 20% bonus on top of that, presumably, right?
Yes.
So
now the leather pamphlet that's still in the party
I'm
sheet.
reading that.
Yes. So that gives you all the knowledge up to the DC 20s, the Mysterium notes, and you're keeping that. So you got 20,450. And we'll put that through the party, of which Edelin didn't get any. And let's go back to Cas.
Before you distribute that, was trying to avoid that getting distributed first.
What'd you need?
Trying to engage in some party loot buying before we split it all up. So that way we don't have to all subtract the gold from our individual sheets.
Well, unfortunately there's not a Control Z.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you all can delete 6,816 gold pieces and I can just throw it back.
At that point we're having to adjust it anyway, so here's what I'm going to suggest we buy as a group at a minimum, alright? By the way, Wintermute, what is your policy on finding wands with a caster level other than the absolute minimum possible? In other words, like a Dispel Magic wand can be made anywhere with a caster level of 5 and above. It depends upon the caster level of the wizard making it. So if we wanted to try to find like a Dispel Magic wand that was made by a level 10 wizard, is that possible to do? Like, remember the wands of Searing Light that were caster level 10 earlier? Can we find that equivalent sort of thing here?
It's a major trade city. So, yeah.
I mean, Kathir is also supposed to be huge, right?
Yes, Kathir is actually, Casimir has a population of 32,000, and Katir has 134,000 people.
Okay, so if you want us to, if you're willing, and again, one of the main reasons I mentioned this Adventure Fest already had examples of wands with other than minimum caster level, right?
Yes.
So, if you're willing to allow it, but you'd rather us wait to Kathir, I think we can do that. Or is this good enough for now, since it is still a metropolis? And are you willing to allow it?
Yeah, oh, it can't break the game anymore. So yeah, I would allow it, and really, unless there's anything you want to do...
I'm gonna suggest we buy this... What was that?
Unless there's anything that you want to do in Casimir, you got to get to Kathir, and, you know, it is... you have a couple ways of doing that. You can find some means to travel quickly, i.e. teleport.
Get there right after him.
Or you can spend a couple of months on a ship.
In which case we'll also arrive there right after him.
Exactly.
So I don't know about you guys. I'm fine with taking the cheap route then.
Okay.
And
typing some things out here. What I would suggest we do. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. You're fine. Give me a chance to close up.
That is going to be an expensive one, but it may be worth it. Just typing stuff out here that I think would be really useful for the party, and then we can discuss exactly what each of these represent in a second.
I'm trying to decide what feat I should take.
Yeah, we also got all that fun stuff. Okay, so on my kind of wish list for the group, I think that the following would be very valuable. So I would like to discuss this. Do you guys want to discuss this before or after we level the characters?
Well, I think we can probably multitask.
Okay, that works. I didn't know if you did not want to be distracted. Okay, so I think it's worth us getting a Wand of Lesser Restoration for 4,500 gold that gives us 50 uses of it. I know Sith can do Lesser Restoration on his own, but we may hit situations where we're going to need more than what he can do per day if we find enough poison or something. And I feel it'd be useful to be able to have that backups if we hit some stuff that has some pretty bad ability damage.
Right.
These cases, these are like they're investments for the future, and hence they're in wand form. You could technically get scrolls for cheaper, but then it's a lot more per charge in effect, right? This is like long-term investments. Option number 2, Dispel Magic Wand, and I technically would think all 4 of these are probably worth it at this point. You remember how, like, she had invisibility on her, as you recall? The greater invisibility, the Derro leader? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, being able to dispel effects like that, or the Thorn Body, or any other shit that pops up, seems it would be very useful. Because, I mean, as we get higher level, there's going to be more magic effects thrown around. It's going to be even more and more likely there's going to be awful shit on things. That also applies to debuffs on off, like if Poppy or Sith gets confused, for example, or something, right? If I get confused, I'm the only one who can use the wand, and I have it, then we're probably kind of in a bad situation anyway. But the point is, right, it gives us some flexibility on dealing with stuff like that. The Wand of Glitter Dust for 7,500 gold, be level 5. That means if they have greater invisibility, or anything else, like, or sneaking around or something, right? That allows me to paint them all in glittery dust that allows you guys to see them and negates their invisibility for 5 rounds. Default round duration would be 3. I think it's probably worth getting at least level 5 just to buy a few more rounds per cast, right? So that I can be, like, helping attack the stuff in between casts of glitter dust. And it's not that much more for that particular one to get at level 5 versus 3. And then we're down to 5 charges on Cure Light Wounds wands, and after that it's we're going to the Wand of Cure Light Wounds, or we're having to go 2 daily spells, of which, like, right now I have 3 Cure Light Wounds that I could cast, which is not going to heal very much. Not at this point.
We've encountered this in this game before about characters forgetting what all they have, so I'm going to turn on the party inventory sheet, because Poppy does have
Are you going to finish that sentence?
yeah, sorry, I'm scrolling. I thought you had a wand.
Bobby does not seem to have anything with the word starting with wand right now on the party sheet.
Yeah, that was all you.
We have some potions of Cure Light Wounds, but that's like 10 scattered across the whole party, and we can use those certainly, and probably should use those out of combat, but...
Well, I've repeatedly tried to use mine, and you're just like, no, we should just use the wand instead.
I was, at that point, it mattered more to be able to use that in combat. You know, at this point though, getting 5 hit points back in combat for an entire round at high level is going to mean a lot less. We're getting to the point where it's like do or die. We're not going to be able to heal in combat, not without like an actual heal spell. And technically speaking, if you guys want, we could invest in like a scroll or 2 of heal or something as well that I would be able to UMD, but... So, technically speaking, I don't even know if we can afford all of those added up right now. But all of those added up would come to a cost of 37.5k gold, which is more than, like, I have about 12,000 right now, so even if I gave a third of that, it doesn't add up. So it looks like right now, yeah, we can't technically even afford all of that right now, largely due to the Dispel Magic Wand. So we could technically buy the other 3 and try to save up enough in the near future to get the Dispel Magic Wand, or get the Dispel Magic instead of something else. What do you guys think? Because we had that whole situation, right, where the fight devolved around you guys having to run and hide because of the combination of the Thorn's body and greater invisibility. So normally you might say just kill it and guess where the square is, right? But then the Thorn's body would tear you up before she died, while getting sneak attacked every single one of her attacks because she has greater invisibility. It really sucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think about the idea of trying to invest in this stuff here?
Fine with me.
Yeah, that's fine. Like you said, though, you got the whole party's got what 33,000, something like that. So you're a little bit over.
How many lesser restorations can you make a day, Sith?
What?
How many lesser restorations can you make a day?
I could do if that's all I did, I can do 5. I get 5 second level spells a day.
Well, in theory, if we dropped the Wand of Luster Restoration for now, we could afford the rest. I would basically chip in an extra like 1,000 gold. I would basically, you guys would basically we'd empty the party's gold reserves.
How much is like a scroll of glitter dust?
So this is for 50 charges. A single scroll of glitter dust. You're saying like, what if we got these in scroll form instead?
Well, not all.
Okay, so like... scrolls in general, there's several downsides to scrolls, right? One, they do provoke while casting, and they provoke when drawing, right? So that makes it a lot harder to use in the middle of combat.
Right.
Also cost 25 gold per charge instead of 15 gold. 66% more per use. But we still technically could get them if we only wanted a few charges.
Right. So I'm just saying, if you're looking like, get the Cure Light Wounds, get the Glitter Dust, get the Lesser Restoration, but maybe just get 3 or 4 scrolls of Dispel Magic for now.
Alright, let's look at what that, let's see what that would look out. So if we said, let's say we looked at scrolls of Dispel Magic. Let's say we went for half a dozen scrolls of Dispel Magic just because that's a very useful and widely available spell. So if we say we wanted 6 scrolls of those, times 25 gold base, times caster level 10, times level 3 spell, that would cost us 4,500 gold instead of 2,500 gold.
So that's just a thought.
Do you guys want to do that instead? So that would, if we did that, then we could get everything else. It would be 7,500. You remember those lurkers in the light? The glitter dust wand would also allow us to deal with those little fuckers.
Right.
Okay, so if we went with that, if we went with half a dozen scrolls of Dispel Magic at level 10, and then potentially replaced those or got a wand of Dispel Magic if we need to later on, right, I guess is the idea, right? That would cost us a total of 500 gold, which means that if each of us contributed 6.5k, that would be enough to cover all of that.
Right. You know, my level 4 spell is full restoration, not lesser.
And you can give that to other people. That's good.
So I'm just saying, there's another, if you want, I mean, I can create potions. Well, I can transfer that extract, yeah, to other people. And now I cast one more 4th level spell. So I get 3 of those a day.
Now keep in mind that the restorations, they cost a minimum of 100 gold each to cast.
Right. Yeah, well, unless we squander all my money on these wands, then right now I'm good. But
well, okay, so how about this? So if we just go with the Wand of Glitter Dust for things like greater invisibility, right? The 3,000 gold on the Cure Light Wounds ones, because we're gonna need them, and we're gonna need more than that long term. But this is kind of like a for now, right? Because each wand only.
It says times 4, so you're talking about 4 wands of Cure Light Wounds.
Yes, 750 gold each.
How
and
much
that
is
each
like a wand of Cure Moderate Wounds.
A lot more and a lot less efficient per hit point. So right now you spend 750 gold, and you get 50 charges of 9 hit points each. So a wand for 750 gold heals 450 hit points, right? So that's basically so that's like what, a 60% ratio, I think. Does that sound right? Yeah, 60% ratio. So if we got a wand of Cure Moderate Wounds, that would cost level 3 caster times 2 times 750. Wand of Cure Moderate Wounds would cost 4,500 gold, and it would heal for 19 hit points per cast. So it'd be 19 times 50, right? And then we divide that by 4,500, and we get like a 21% ratio.
Okay.
That's what a Cure Moderate would be. So I think it's worth getting the Cure Light Wounds by far.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I hadn't ran the numbers.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Yeah.
Does the Shield Master feat apply when using a two-handed weapon?
What's the Shield Master feat?
Your mastery of the shield allows you to fight with it without hindrance. You do not suffer any penalties on attack rolls made with a shield while you are wielding another weapon. Add your shield's enhancement bonus to attacks and damage rolls made with the shield as if it was a weapon enhancement bonus.
I mean, you're not. I mean, that mainly is there for if, like, you have a longsword in one hand and a shield in the other. How would you be using it?
Probably the same thing with my Earthbreaker. I was just curious. I didn't think it would, but I just wanted to make sure.
Gotcha. The only use that it would seem to have for you is if you got enchanted a throwing shield to +5, it would give you +5 attack and damage on that only. I'm not really sure that's worth the money or the feat for just that, though.
Considering I don't really throw my shield that often, I concur.
Alright, so if we're looking at spending 3,000 gold on 4 Cure Light Wounds wands, it's going to be an ongoing expense, right? Because if all of us are, like, near death and then we have to heal ourselves back up, that's already sharing nearly 300 hit points, right? So those wands are going to go fast. We need to prepare to be stocked up on those. So 3,000 gold for Cure Light Wounds wands, 7,500 gold for Glitter Dust, and then we said 6 of the Dispel Magic Scrolls. That adds up to a total of 15,000 gold. So if we then split that 3 ways, we'd get 5,000 gold each that we'd spend. That's unreasonable to you guys to stock up on supplies for this journey and adventure?
Sure.
We're spending how much gold each?
5,000 gold each. That gives us the 4 wands of curing, a wand of glitter dust, and some scrolls of dispel magic, in case shit happens that's bad.
Fine with me.
Okay. I just mark it off my inventory, 5,000.
Yep.
Done.
Oh, that was easy enough.
So I'm trying to figure out what feat I should take.
Do you have Furious Focus?
I
You haven't been using that, if so.
don't think I do, no.
That might be worth picking up.
Okay.
Can you refresh the party inventory, Wintermute?
Yep.
Okay, so we do have 18,000 gold still left. Is there anything in particular that somebody's wanting to buy before we continue on that we'd want to pool our money for?
Nothing really comes to mind. We had talked about like a handy haversack or something to carry some of this stuff in. I didn't know if that was still something we wanted to look into.
We can do that if you guys want.
Or even a couple of bags of holding.
I don't know if we need a couple of bags of holding, but we do want...
If you want to split stuff up, like give one to Poppy and one to me.
Well, given that you're an alchemist and using ranged attacks a lot anyway, Poppy, what do you think? Think it makes sense to get a handy haversack for Sith, so he can carry like alchemist ingredients and stuff more freely?
No, I mean, I don't really need that because that stuff really doesn't weigh much, but right now...
I mean, it weighs like a pound per thrown weapon.
As long as... Yeah, I guess just one handy haversack, and I mean, we're making Poppy carry everything anyway, just strap it onto him, I guess.
Well, handy haversack only carries up to 80 pounds, but the point is it clears you up to carry 80 more pounds of stuff, or 75 more pounds of stuff without taking you into the medium encumbrance.
Right.
So, I mean,
that'd be fine. I could take a handy haversack, and then I could take all those alchemist fire and acid and alkali flasks. Because
how do you want to split the cost?
Pounds of stuff right there.
Do we want to do something like Poppy and I pay $650 each, and then you pay 700, Sith? Does that work?
Sure, that works.
Alright, so I'm marking us $650. Poppy, do you have any objections?
What is this for?
Handy haversack for Sith, so he can carry like the alchemist supplies and some other stuff. So we have him having more access to things.
Okay.
You find spending $650 gold on that party item?
Fine with me.
Or, well, I mean, how much is one?
2,000.
Why don't I just spend the 2,000 and buy one then? I mean, you guys don't have to chip in necessarily. I've got 5,000 gold.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I'm trying. I'd like in general to, if it's like stuff that's gonna primarily benefit the party, I'd like to make sure we're like chipping in and not having everyone have to do it themselves. But if you think that's primarily a benefit for you and you want to pay for it, I'm not gonna object.
Oh, okay. Well, because I mean, it's been my experience that the fighter types are more cash. You guys need more stuff for upgrading armor and things like that. Whereas the spellcasters, once you got good armor and a good cloak, then really, you know.
Okay, well, you can spend the 2,000 gold then.
Right,
we'll save our money for upgrading other stuff.
Get a handy haversack, and you guys get better armor.
No. Poppy, is there anything particular you're interested in trying to get now that you could use people chipping in on for, like, basically, like, there's no point, in my opinion, of each of us having 10,000 gold, example, and, you know, because all of us want something worth 15,000. It's like, well, let's just get somebody the 15,000 and just keep track who owes who what, you know? I don't want to go into a situation where we die because, you know, because Poppy failed to save by one because we were didn't want to just get her the Cloak of Resistance plus one higher or something.
Nothing that I can really think of. I was kind of wondering if there were any items that I could find that, or abilities that would be sort of equivalent to a build I would use for Poppy and League, but that would be more fluff than anything. anything for the most part.
Gotcha.
Eric, you take really detailed notes.
Oh, is this the person who died back in the asylum and we have their notes from book 1?
Yes, 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 yes. I'm glad that come up. It was really easy. Delivering that notebook gives you an extra reward as well in Kathir.
Okay. Do you want me to... Here, I just dragged it back to the party inventory if you want to do something with it.
God, it seems like the asylum was so long ago.
It was literally a year ago or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it would have been. So, let's see. I'm going to delete it from the party sheet. Let's see, because other than the reward, it does not look like she has any place in the adventure, so I'll delete the notes, and she is, when you present the notebook to her, you know, she asks what happened to her brother, and, you know, she's shocked to hear about the madness that spread through the asylum, and she breaks down in tears when she learns about the fate of her brother. But as a reward for this, this notebook is for new techniques in dealing with hydrocephalus, and it's worth a lot of money to her. She gives you 3,200 gold pieces as a reward.
Wow, okay.
And I'm going to distribute.
I have a question. Can I use something from Adventurer's Armory too?
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
What are you wanting to use?
Well, for 1,300 and the cost of 1,300 and a feat and burning a feat, I can get a razored modification to my armor, which is more in line with what I was thinking of when I wanted to get armor spikes for Thornmail. Basically, whenever an opponent hits me with a melee touch attack or succeeds at a combat maneuver check to grapple, must succeed at a reflex save, DC 10 plus my base attack bonus, or take an amount of piercing damage equal to 1d6 plus the armor's enhancement bonus.
Can you link to this?
I can try.
And what was the name of what you were wanting?
Razored. It's an equipment modification from Adventurer's Armory 2.
So, you are aware that that only does something against melee touch attacks or grapples, right?
So I wouldn't... So that wouldn't count. Fuck, I clicked the wrong link. Would not count for like regular, like hitting me with a sword.
No. In fact, it's worse. If somebody just punches you, it doesn't actually trigger it.
Yeah.
It has to be a melee touch attack specifically. So it'd have to be an actual, like they'd have to do, like shocking grasp or something.
Ah, fuck it then. Never mind.
That's why it's, does so much damage for being so cheap. Because it only applies in extremely limited circumstances.
And it would reduce your speed by 5 feet.
Well, I think I can live with that. That's basically how I started the game. There aren't really any feats or items that would like replicate anything else, like Sunfire Cape or now I can't think of what that other item is, but oh well.
And since you all are on board ship, headed to Kathir, I'm gonna give you all an overnight rest. Think it's been a while.
Indeed. Wintermute.
Yes, sir.
Are you worried with me tracking individual uses on each wand of Cure Light Wounds, or can I just combine them all into a giant charge pool?
You can make them one.
Alright, we now have 205 charges of Cure Light Wounds left.
Oh, actually,
That's
that
right.
reminds me. I had a question that I wanted to ask for just general curiosity and information. How come you can't make leather armor out of dragon hide?
Because it's harder than leather. I mean, leather armor is cowhide treated to make it harder, but dragon hide is already harder than leather armor would be. So you can't, to make it leather, you would have to actually make it less effective.
I guess that makes a certain amount of sense, but like when I think about it, I feel like it says dragon hide, but they mean like scales or something. Because if I think of dragon hide, I think of something like the same texture of like snake skin or crocodile skin.
So you're talking about how dragon hide can only be used to make good mail, half plate, or full plate.
Yes.
I guess it's because dragon hide's just that tough and that's effectively that heavy. I guess that's what they're claiming.
Okay. Works for me.
I mean, look at what Poppy has, Sith. Speaking of which, do you gain any new benefits at level 11? Add Poppy's effects on the combat tracker.
Oh, he's got it turned on right now. Okay, yeah. It just says DR3.
Yep, that's DR3.
But what if it's specific to, what about like DR3 good?
I would say DR3 space good. All lowercase.
And I forgot to check if I get any new class abilities at level 11, so now I have to restart my laptop.
Oh, it would be so nice if you could import Fantasy Grounds into Hero Lab and then back again.
Oh, now the problem is that I have I transferred my
Looks like you
Hero
don't.
Lab license to my laptop, but I used Fantasy Grounds on my desktop, so all of my character sheets are on my laptop.
Okay, so I added the Wand of Glitter Dust, I added 6 scrolls of Dispel Magic, I added 4 Wands of Pure Light Wounds. We're skipping the Lesser Restoration for now and hoping Sith stuff is enough. And then we're using the 6 scrolls of Dispel Magic for now instead of the Wand. Does that sound correct for everyone?
And I have one full restoration memorized too.
Okay.
Poppy, you should be able to do 2 installs on Hero Lab. Because I've got one on my desktop and I've got one on my laptop.
I think my second install is on my iPad.
Ah.
Except my iPad is like 10 years old and I no longer have a charger for it, so I guess I might as well figure out the code for that one and move it to my desktop.
Yeah, there's a, in Hero Labs you can have them send you a license summary. And, in Linux I had updated Wine, which allows me to run the Windows binary. And it invalidated my license key, but it was a couple of prompts, and they should be able to deactivate your key on your iPad if you want and transfer it.
I'll have to figure that out at some point.
Somehow I got a +3 listed on my Alchemist Fire. I wonder where that came from.
You paid 9,000 gold for a +3 Alchemist Fire? No. I just say we just should beat him up and take his gold, if that's what he's going to spend it on.
No,
I swear.
Spend it on. Shut your pie.
Wow.
Yeah, and you all can go home and just call it done and a successful adventure. After all, it's not the first time Poppy helped murder someone.
Killer.
Yeah, that one already came back to bite me in the ass. Go away.
Okay, so I have another language I can learn. Options. So right now I know Abyssal, Aklo, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elven, Dwarven, Infernal, Sylvan, and Undercommon. Given the weird things we're facing, that's still not enough half the time. So I went ahead and I also learned tongues several levels ago. Remember like those elder things, for example, back in Act 2? I was only able to talk to them via casting tongues.
Yep.
But I do have options of languages left. So options include Aquan for water, Auran for air, Giant for giants, Gnome, Halfling, Goblin, Gnoll, Ignin for fire, Sylvan for no Sylvan, or Terran for earth. So basically we have the 4 elemental languages: orcs, giants, gnolls, goblins, and then the little people languages like gnoll and gnome and halfling. I mean, very perfect people languages, Poppy.
Well, I mean, if you learn Gnome or Sylvan, we can talk shit about Sif behind his back.
I know Sylvan.
Oh, well, then we can talk shit about Sif behind his back anyway. Except for some oh, there it is, yeah.
Sith, what languages do you know?
I don't have them all on my character sheet here.
Well, you should, because otherwise you don't get the benefit in game.
Yeah, I know.
Also, by having an int modifier of 8, you get an extra 8 languages on top of Common and Elven. if you're not aware of that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I've actually kind of ran out of. Where do you put them under abilities?
Notes.
Notes.
There's a whole thing for it where that way it detects it.
Well,
And
yeah,
so, Poppy, what languages do you know? Gnome and Sylvan?
And common.
And Common? Okay. So, knowing Gnome and or Sylvan would potentially prove useful, Sith. I'm kind of tempted. What do you guys think of picking up... Didn't the biting lash guy, didn't they say he was a gnoll?
Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts on me picking up Null so we can talk to Biting Lash when we find him? And I can understand it if he's like saying, "You all go kill these guys."
Go for it.
Alright. It's either that or Gnome. Which do you think I should learn right now? I mean, it would be nice to be able... So if we know Sylvan, that would help. Like if Sith wants to pick up... Sith picks up Sylvan, that would allow us to all talk to each other.
So I know my languages are Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elven, Gnomish, Goblin, and Sylvan.
I think you're missing some then, aren't you? Because you should have a total of 10 languages.
I thought I only had 7.
You should have 10. 8 from Intelligence, and then 2 from Common and Elven.
But when I used Hero Lab to build my guy, and on starting languages, it says, like, it has a whole bunch that are grayed out, and I don't understand why.
Probably because 3 of the languages are coming from your headband, so you need to figure out which languages you're getting from your headband.
Okay. Oh,
Which is actually something I need to deal with as well, now come to think of it. I didn't give myself a language in my headband.
see, it has a note that says your background does not allow you to learn this language as a starting language. Those are on the common languages. And then there's all the uncommon. Same thing. It says your background. I don't know what that's referring to.
I don't know.
Don't know
I'm
offhand
looking at the
either.
rules in here, and it's just saying you learn languages if you,
So what other languages were you saying that I needed?
There's a whole list of things that could prove useful, but having Sylvan there at a minimum would definitely be nice.
So I've got Sylvan.
Okay.
I don't know. You know, this isn't a typical adventure path. I mean, we aren't dealing with creatures from a lot of like where chaos, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, what do demons speak?
Abyssal.
Yeah, like abyssal.
True.
I don't think we've ran into anything like that.
Only a few. I'm gonna say I know Giant from the headband, I think. Wait a second. Oh wow, Wintermute. I gave myself a handband of intelligence. I did not actually add that onto my character's main stats. All my knowledges should be 1 higher. I forgot to actually add that on. Okay, there we go.